Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. Ada Cheke here. I want to talk about why we will struggle as a new immigrant in any country you find yourself, be it Canada, US, UK, Italy, Germany, Sweden, whatever country. If you go online, you see a lot of people coming in to say UK is not what I thought, Canada is not what I thought. I think it's the Canada people now that have they are the people that we're seeing a whole lot of them, and I want to address some points. The number one point I will address is misinformation. So if you don't get the right information, there are 100% chances that you will struggle as a new immigrant that's in any country that you find yourself. You see, if after God, the money that you need to go to another country and the information you need about that country are the two most important things that you will be needing in this your relocation journey. So if you don't get the right information, there are 100% chances that you will struggle. You will struggle. At some point, you will get frustrated. At some point, you will get depressed. The second one is what? Lack of planning. Lack of planning. So if you fail to plan, the chances is that you have already what? Planned to fail. The third one is what? African mentality. Yes, so I said it's African mentality. That mentality that will make you, when somebody is telling you that this is how things are, you will say, no, my case will be different. I serve a living God. This and that and that. You see that? That's another reason why you will struggle if you find yourself as a new immigrant in any country. Then the fourth one is what? Connections, friendship, relationship, mingling with the right people. You see, the people that you associate with in this journey will determine how far or how well you are going to turn out at the long run. If you fill yourself with a bunch of negative people, people that will always tell you this place is this place is that, people that are not ready to put in the work, people that will not sit down and find solutions, sit down and find what they are doing wrong and do it better, there are chances that your settling down here in United Kingdom or Canada or any country will be difficult. So let me start with number one, why I will also state some points as we go. Misinformation or not even having the information at all. Now, the Canadian embassy are sharing visitors visa as if they are sharing cake or bread or whatever, and a lot of people are moving into Canada on a permanent basis with visitors visa. Now, if you are given a Canada visa, you are to this visa is valid until your passport expires, but you are not to stay in Canada more than 6 months. It's no longer news that you can convert your visitors visa into a work permit, which will allow you to stay in Canada permanently. But the question you do not ask is, what is the percentage of people that are able to convert this visa from visitors visa to Canada visa, Canada work permit? I have watched a lot of video. I have some friends who are in Canada, and they are saying is 1 out of 10. So it means if 10 people relocate to Canada, 9 people have the chances of not getting this work permit, and that means they will come back. They will have to come back after 6 months. They have 6 months. Another thing is that that visa has a limited time. If you stay more than 6 months, you become an undocumented immigrant, which will expose you to a lot of things, which I don't want to go into. The third one is that as a visitor's visa, you cannot have your SIN. That is the, I think, it's standard international number or something like that. Like how you have NIN in Nigeria, national identification number, or how you have your NIN in United Kingdom, national insurance number. So that number is the number that you can use to open account, is the number that you can use to rent a house, is the number that you can use to do any form of documentation. But as a visitor, you are not given this number. So without this number, you cannot rent a house. Without this number, you cannot even get a proper job. Without this number, you cannot do hospital registration and a lot of things. So when you are, your agent is getting this visitor visa for you and telling you that once you get to Canada, you convert it to work permit, also know that there is a lot of chances that you cannot rent a house. You either stay in a hotel, stay in an Airbnb, or stay with a family member if you have one, and if that person is willing to accommodate you, then you start looking for a job. So many jobs will ask you for name. Now, the third one is that the work permit that you are looking for, The only job that can be given to a visitor that will require that will allow the person convert from visitor visa to work permit must be the employer must have a lima what is it, lima lima certification, and that certification is not easy to get because of all the requirements. It means that they've checked throughout Canada, both those on work permits, those on permanent residency, and those that are Canadian citizens, and they did not find anybody that can do that job. That is the only requirement where they can give you the job. Now, some people have gone as far as selling that lima certificate as they have started as they were selling course in United Kingdom, because some agencies have gone through the process of getting the lima certificate and they are now using it to make money, and they are selling it as much as 25,000 to 35,000 Canadian dollars. Just as course now in the United Kingdom is being sold for about 15,000 to 20,000 dollars, pounds. So you begin to ask yourself, is it really worth it? Now you are going with a visa that is like this, and you are packing your whole family, or selling everything you have to go to an uncertainty that you are not sure of because you don't have the right information. So let me leave Canada. Let me come to United Kingdom. When you get your maybe your student visa or your normal work visa to come to United Kingdom, and you don't sit down and have a good discussion with your partner, that is if you are not coming alone, or have a good discussion with people that will support you in this journey, there are chances that you will struggle when you get here, because you might seek all of income back home, then you come down to United Kingdom with the hope that you get work. Maybe you have watched so many YouTube videos where people are saying, I got work in my first day of arriving, I got work in my third day of arriving.
Let no one deceive you that there is job waiting for you, that immediately you come here you will start working, you start making pounds, you recover everything that you sold back home in less than 3 months, or whatever it is that people are telling you. Having the misinformation or the wrong information will be the first doom that will happen to any new immigrant, because you will come with that perception, and when you arrive here the reality will be different, and you will start feeling frustration even before you even start the journey at all. So I think you should get your information right. It's true that a lot of information are out there on YouTube and TikTok or Instagram or all social media platforms, but if you listen and use discernment, you will know people that are actually telling you the truth. Some people will tell you, I got my job in first before even arriving, I got my job in 1 week of arriving, or let me tell you the truth, I don't know the statistics, but let me just tell you, about 90% or more of people did not get job or did not have any source of any pounds or dollars in their first 1 month of arriving here. Secondly, plan for your accommodation, plan for your finances, plan for your partner, because a lot of things are going to change. And also have a mindset shift, because if you don't have this mindset shift, when some things start happening, it will start becoming a shock to you. I think couples should sit down and talk, families should sit down and have a good discussion, because so many things are happening that sometimes I wonder whether these people, did they actually plan on coming to this country before they started coming to this country. You see people saying, people like their husband is the one going to school, the wife is the one working, and the wife refused to bring money to pay the rent. They are expecting the student who is restricted to work 20 hours to still fully provide for the family, like how he was providing for the family back home. You see some people come into this country with a pregnant wife, a 7 months pregnant wife, a 6 months pregnant wife. Like immediately they start the process of relocating, they impregnate the wife so that when they come here, they'll give birth to the child, and the child will become a British citizen. Like what? Please, this, I don't even know whether it was possible in Canada or US, but for United Kingdom, the child that you gave birth to this in this country only have a birth certificate that the child was given birth to United Kingdom. The child still have the same status as you as the parent. If you are a student, the child is a student dependent. If you are a skilled worker, the child is a skilled worker dependent. Please stop getting your wives pregnant and bringing a pregnant woman down here to United Kingdom when you don't even have finances to cater for it. At the end of the day, you become frustrated because you don't have any family support here to take care of the woman. Then now you are the one that is a student. How can you be a student? You have 20 hours to work. Then your wife is 7 months pregnant. Then the both of you will enter relocate to a country that you don't know anybody, that you don't have family. Even if you have family, they have their lives, they have things that is bothering them. Now you with your 20 hours will take care of a wife, a heavily pregnant wife, and your child that is on the way, and maybe you have other children. How can you even cope with such planning? How can you even plan such? Then you see people that don't have enough money and the whole family will move into the country at the same time. You are going to family accommodation is more difficult to get than single accommodation. You can get single room in shared apartment easily, like in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. If you search continuously and persistently, you will definitely see a room in a single house to share. But that room, they only want single people, or in very rare cases, they will accept couples. Most people do not even accept couples. Some of them will only accept a single person. And now you know you don't have so much fund in your hand, and you will not bring in your whole family. It means you will spend a lot of time in Airbnb looking for a family accommodation. Now, when you're looking for a family accommodation, it means that you're looking for a full house. And to get a full house, you need so many requirements. Some people go as much as asking for your credit score. You need an employment letter. You need a credit score. You need certain amount of annual earning, how much you earn annually. How can you be able to prove all this identification? They might tell you to get an employment letter from your employee stating how much you earn annually, and they are just coming into the country. You don't even have a job. You don't have, before collecting like 3 months rent or 6 months rent was maybe the case. When you come in and you have your 6 months rent or 3 months rent, you will see landlords that would be able to take the big rent. They will take the 6 months rent, they take the 3 months rent, and they will give you the house, believing that you can be able to settle down, get something doing before the amount of rent they collected will expire, and you can now pay monthly. But now some of them, even with your 12 months rent, they will not give you their house. Even if you have your 12 months rent, they are not going to give you their house. Then the next one is marriages. The way marriages are struggling and are collapsing here in United Kingdom, you wonder whether these people actually were they partners back home, were they actually people that lived under the same roof, or were they enemies? Like, people come here and you see the wife remembering everything that the husband has been doing to her all this while. You see some husbands becoming something else. You forget that there is another system that works here. You forget that there are things that you have to do to make your home to work. Like, did you even sit down to know where you are going to and what is expected of you where you are going to? You are the dependent, and your wife is the main applicant. Maybe you people came in through work visa, and she's expected to work 36 hours, or she's expected to work 48 hours in her workplace. And you, the man, you are telling her not to go to work. When the work, your visa, your stay in United Kingdom is depending on this work. When you have to babysit the children so that she will go to work, you will remember that you are the man of the house. You start dragging head and tail and whatever without even realizing that, did you actually even plan this journey and say, okay, see what we're going to do, see what we're going to do. And you will now see some women, they start earning money maybe back home. They are used to the husband providing 100% or 90% of the home expenses, and times have changed now. Maybe you the woman are the one is the one that is earning more money and all that, and you still insist that your husband, who is the low income earner, should bear 100% of the expenses of running the house, while you actually do what with your own money. And a lot of things are happening. The other time, it was a couple that left their kids, a 5-year-old child and 3-year-old child, in their house and went to work. The wife went for a night shift. The husband was called in for an urgent shift, and the children were sleeping. He felt he can go to the work and come back in the morning before they wake up. These children woke up by midnight and started crying. They never heard their cry for some minutes and hours, and nobody is responding. Went to check on them and found out that there is no adult in the house. Called social services, and these children were taken away from their parents. Like, a whole lot is happening with the new immigrants that are coming into the United Kingdom right now. And I think people need to sit down and reevaluate their positions and their stance and whatever it is that is the reason why they are relocating, and knowing that system has changed and a lot of things has changed. And if you do not change with all these things, you will really struggle. You will really struggle as a new immigrant. See people like living as if they are in a competition with anybody, or they are trying to prove a point to anybody. My dear, you're not trying to prove any point to anybody. If somebody is calling you from back home to say, I need this, I need that, send me money, or we need to do this, you have traveled abroad, that project that we left, let's continue from it. Tell the person that you do not have money. What is so difficult to say no, or to say for now and I cannot afford this, so for now they should leave this? You are trying to live up to what standard? They are trying to live up to what standard? They are trying to cover up that you are struggling with your finances, and people will keep asking you when you are not financially okay to take care of yourself, and you're taking care of another person. It's hard everywhere. It's hard back home. It's still hard for you here as a new immigrant. You have not found your feet to start being the cash cow of anybody. And if you do not make that plain, you will be struggling as a new immigrant. If you are trying to cover up, they say, you have gone abroad. So anybody abroad has money to spare. For Christ's sake, if you have not settled, and everybody have their different time of settlement. Some people settle in 6 months, some people settle in 1 year, some people settle in 3 years, some people settle in 5 years. If you know you have not settled in as a new immigrant, what people think or trying to impress people back home should not be your priority. Another thing, getting your information right and being ready to put in the work. I've seen people that are lazy. Yes, they are lazy. They've come here to hustle, to get a better life for themselves or for their children or for whatever reason. But you look at them and you see that they are not even ready to put in the work. They are not even ready to do things they are supposed to do. If they apply to 2 or 3 jobs and you get a rejection, you say, no, there is no this one is that. Some people will go to some certain job. I'm not saying that you should do something that is detrimental to your health or something that you cannot do. But if you have decided to make this journey, you should know that there are so many sacrifices that you are going to be making along the line. And you should be ready to put in the work, make these sacrifices and get what you want. And progress to a better life with time. But not like your wife is here on a student visa, you are the dependent, then you come in, you say you cannot do care work, you say you cannot do warehouse, you say you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You are waiting for exactly the office job that you did back home, or whatever it is that you want to, the kind of job that you are planning to get on your first week, first month of arrival. And bills are piling up, things to do are piling up. You are frustrating to the student to go and start working more hours. At the end of the day, the home office will find out that he or she is working more hours, and your visa will be cancelled, and the both of you will go back to your home country without even achieving anything. When you see some of these students that are working more than 20 hours, it's not as if they are greedy or they just want to make money for themselves. Sometimes they are pushed to do this because their dependents that are supposed to help them out to sort out some certain bill is not even helping matters. Then you come to parents. Some parents will send in a child that is sick to United Kingdom with unpaid fees, no living expenses, to come here and hustle for money. Yes, I've seen a sickler, a child, a sickler that is sent here to do master that just paid £4,000 deposit, and her parents sent her here to hustle and pay the balance of her school fees and also her living expenses, even with her health condition. Who does that? How do you even want that? Every work that you are going to get as a new immigrant here in United Kingdom is very taxing and demanding. You are going to give in your 100% strength, energy, and everything before you can be able to earn from these jobs. Now, she's here, she has about £10,000 or more to pay off in her school fees. She has her living expenses to cater for, and she's going into hospital in and out because of the strenuous activities here. And when you see the person is just like a walking dead. Please, let's just stop all these things. If you are not going to sit down and plan your journey and get information, get the right information and do your due diligence, it's better you don't even start the journey at all. Whoever that is telling you that if you come here in 6 months, you will recover the land you sold, you recover the house you sold, you recover the money, everything, the person is actually lying to you. It's true that you recover all those things with time, but it's not in those short period of time. If whether you will struggle as a new immigrant, yes, you will struggle. You will struggle with so many things. You even struggle with the food. You will struggle with the weather. You will struggle with the accent. You will struggle with getting a job. You will struggle with so many things. Get ready for all these struggles and come prepared. Because I think if you position your mind the right way, it will help you to accommodate all these things when they start happening, and you will not start calling everybody and making a mess of social media and going everywhere to say, I am doing this, I am doing that. I'm not saying you should not speak up when it's overwhelming for you. Yes, if you are tired, if it's becoming overwhelming, if you need to talk to somebody or if you need to speak out, you're free to speak out. But you should be speaking out from a place of, I know it's going to be like this, but it's getting to me actually, and I feel a need to speak up. Not like you're saying, I don't know UK will be like this, I don't know Canada will be like this. They are like that. Abroad is not easy. Abroad is not for the faint-hearted, especially for the first 1 or 2 years, depending on how fast you are able to settle down. But if you make the right provisions for yourself, if you make the right decisions, if you plan as much as you can never plan enough. Things can go wrong. Even if as you have planned your way out, it will be easier for you. I came here, my husband was back home. He was sending money for me, for my upkeep, for my rent, for the first 3 months that I arrived here until he came to join me. Even while he came to join me, he came in with our 2 months rent. Our 2 months rent and even living expenses. So even if he does not get job in the first 2 months, we're not relying on my income as a student working 20 hours or relying on nothing. So we paid our first month rent. Glory be to God, he got a job in the first month. The second month rent, we still paid with the money he came from back Nigeria. And by the third month, he has balanced enough to be able to use the money, the funds that he's earning from here to pay. So it was not as if we're managing ourselves, but it was not as if we're like hopeless. So please, dear new immigrants, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but try as much as possible to just know that this is a phase and it's going to pass. And for you that is trying to come, plan as much as possible. If you need to come in before your family joins you, please come in. If you need to come in as a couple, then your children join later, please do that. If there's anything you need to do to ease your journey here, do that. If you have something that is earning a substantial amount of money for you back home in Nigeria, and that thing can continue earning the money even while you are here, I would advise that you leave that thing to keep bringing in that money while you I'll try and get money from other sources, so that even when you are back, when you are here, even if that business or you have a building that is now up for rental or for whatever reason, whatever it is that is any money for you, can at least earn you a £500 in a month, is substantial enough. It will go a long way. At least it will go for your transport and your feeding while you now cater for other things. Don't sell off everything. Don't come here with the hope of all is now well for me, and when you land you see that all is not actually well. I hope this helps someone. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe. See you in my next one. Bye bye.